Hello students and welcome to the session. I am Mr. M.H. Mota, Assistant Professor, Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering. Today we will try to learn something about the different building components. So the outcome of today's session is to understand the basic components of the building. Before that, we will just try to understand the basic types of structure. So generally building structures are divided under two headings. One is called load bearing structure and another is framed structure. Load bearing structures are those structures where the wall is the major structural element and transfer the load of whole structure to the soil beneath. These kind of buildings are generally of low heights and their number of floors are limited up to 2 to maximum 3. While frame structure are most commonly used structures nowadays, they are generally made up of classical members like beam, column and slabs. They are very common. They are generally made up of RCC, and in case of very high rise or tall buildings, they are generally made up of the steel structural members. Now different components of structure. Every component has few very common type of components like foundation, plinth and plinth filling, walls, damp proof cores which is even abbreviated as DPC, different floors, beams, columns, lintels, stairs, parapet, roof and different windows and doors. So we'll try to understand in brief these different components. So we'll start with the foundation. So foundation is a structural unit that uniformly distributes the load from the superstructure to the underlying soil. This is the first structural unit to be constructed for any building construction. A good foundation prevents settlement of the building. It also prevents the lateral movement of the structure. The stability of the building is a major function of the foundation. Foundation defines the stability. This even provides the stability in case of earthquake. The different types of foundations. Foundations are generally divided into two basic types, shallow foundations and deep foundations. Shallow foundations are those foundations which are generally having a less depth. The different types of wall footings and various column footings are the examples of shallow foundation. While deep foundations are those foundations where the depth of the foundation is comparatively very high. The pile foundation is an example of deep foundation. Next is plinth and plinth filling. So the plinth is constructed above the ground level. It is the dividing line between substructure and superstructure, and it is the lowest part of superstructure above ground level. Substructure is a part of structure which is constructed below the ground level, which generally consists of foundation, while superstructure is the major structure which is constructed above the ground level, and it begins with the plinth. The height of the plinth is generally in the range of 30 to 75 centimeter. It depends upon the locality and different soil types. Damp-proof cores is provided at plinth level to prevent the entry of moisture or water from rising to the walls of ground floor. Plinth filling is used to fill the space between ground level and superstructure. This plinth filling is generally made up of murum-like structure or brick bats or any kind of waste construction material too. This helps to fill the space or voids in between the ground level and the starting of the ground floor. Next is damp proof cores or DPC. It is a layer of waterproofing material applied on the plinth level. The major function of it is to prevent the rise of surface water into the walls. The walls are generally constructed over the DPC. The following figures explain the concept of DPC in brief. Then comes the walls. So the walls are vertical elements. It can be made from stones, bricks, concretes, etc. The wall provides an enclosure and protect against wind, sunshine, rain, etc. The openings are provided in the walls for ventilation and access to the building. So the major function of wall is to enclose the space vertically, and internally it helps us to divide the space into different rooms as such. In case of structures like load bearing structure, they are the major structural elements. Next is floors. The floor is the surface laid on the plinth level and at various elevation in case of multi-storied buildings. In case of multi-storied buildings, it also helps to divide the space vertically. Generally, the terminology used to denote the different floors in case of multi-storied buildings are like ground floor, first floor, second floor, and so on. So they generally denotes the different elevations from the ground level. Then beams and slabs. Beams and slabs form the horizontal members in a building. They are the major component in frame structure. For a single story building, the top slab forms the roof. In case of multi-storied buildings, the beam transfer the load coming from the floor above the slab, which is in turn transferred to the columns. Beams and slabs are constructed by cement concrete in majority of the cases. But even in case of factory buildings, these are made up of different steel elements, particularly beams. Then the columns. Columns are vertical members constructed above the ground level. Columns are generally of two types. They can be a structural columns or architectural columns. A structural column, in case of frame structure, takes the load coming from the slab above and transfer safely to the foundation, while architectural columns are constructed to improve building aesthetics. So this figure will make our idea about these structural elements a bit clearer, in which the different structural elements like beams, columns, slabs and foundations are shown. Next part is lintel. Lintels are constructed above the wall openings like doors, windows, etc. These structures support the weight of the wall coming over the opening. Normally, lintels are constructed by reinforced cement concrete. Then the stairs. A stair is a series of steps that connects different floors in a building structure. It is a mean of vertical movement in a building. It also helps to improve the appearance of the building. And these are very important parts in case of the multi-storied buildings. Then a parapet. Parapets are extended short walls around the openings like terrace galleries in a building. It acts as a safety wall for people. It also improves the appearance of the structure. So parapets are generally constructed around the openings, and their main function is to act as a safety barrier for people and making the thing assure that they won't fall from a higher elevation etc. But currently it also is playing a major role in defining the elegance of the building. It makes the building more beautiful and attractive. Then comes the topmost part of the structure, which is called as a roof. It forms the topmost component of a building. It encloses the space from the top. Roofs can be either flat or sloped based on location and weather conditions of the area. The figure indicates the different roles played by the roof as they are equally important in making the structure beautiful and more pleasant to view from outside. Finally, the doors and the windows. A window is an opening in a wall, door, or roof, or vertical vehicle that allows the passage of light, sound, and air. The major function of a window is the provision of ventilation, which is essential for a comfortable living condition. While a door is a mean to access the building, it also helps to connect different spaces with each other. Doors and windows even are playing a very important role in making the building pleasant and attractive, not only from outside but even internally too. So let's meet in the next session to know more about this. Thank you for having me, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.